Hello, my name is Hayden Hart, and this is my level to train. You will first begin your way towards the back of the train, where you will be approached by a door. You open the door with E, proceed to jump in, and go over, under, and through some boxes. You can either move or push the boxes out the way. And then you will make your way up the steps on towards the next train car. Once you're in the next train car, you will then go through the freezer section where boxes are able to move like they are on ice, and then you will make your way into the tire room where you'll be met with tires that you will need to move out the way so you can proceed through. Once tires are moving in the right direction, you'll be able to make your way through. There's a collectible down there. It's a bit more difficult than what it usually is. Once you have the majority of them out of the way, you should be able to crouch down and get through. Now you are in the fire train car. You want to avoid the oil spills of fire so you will not die. You will then make your way up into the next train car. Here you'll be met with branches and signs that you must make your way around. And then you come to our feature asset, which is the tank. You will press E and it will proceed to shoot a hole into the wall. Next train car, this is the electrified train car. The same as the fire car, you want to avoid the puddles of electricity. And you will make your way onto the top of this next train car.
Hello, my name is Derek Huffman, and this is my level called the Abandoned Compound. Our first setup here, you have to find the gate key, take it over to the panel here, and you'll be able to open the gate here. Now when you open this gate, on the left side there, I have my unique asset there. It's a old bridge in the water there. If he turns around here, you might be able to see it better. There it is. But use the grapnel to create a bridge here to cross the river, and then you go to the right to break open a breakable wall here with some debris, or you can run through it, or you can use the grapnel itself to break down the wall. So any way you feel like it. So once you get through the building there, there is this pedestal here, and it requires 3 keys, and you'll have to go to each of the 3 rooms to get the blue, red, and green key. So here we're going to do some platforming over some acid. Now this upcoming room here with the blue key, that open pit there, is supposed to be a trap, but the level blocking mesh is used to crumble beneath the player would lag the level out too much, so I'll implement that later. But anyway, now that we got the blue key, it's time to go for the other 2 keys. So let's see here, let's go for the center room here, and you got to push the sphere onto the pressure plate here, and there's a grate there on the left. It opens the grate so you can crouch through it. And this area right here is supposed to be water, but I may change that later, but in the time being that's what it is. A nice little underwater room. Up here is a simple collectible, and in the room beneath it there's a breakable wall that's got another collectible in it. And just like the bridge setup from earlier, kind of practicing that again. We can use that to get to the other side of this acid pit here and collect the red key. Now for most of these door animations I will add sound in the future, but in the meantime, just to make sure the game flows smoothly, we can do without it. Through the hallways here we got some lasers that you're supposed to crouch and jump over. If you hit one, it does damage in increments of 20. Now you can't really quite see it here, but the door behind him just closed. There it is. So he's just now noticing that, but after you pick the green key up, it opens another passage, and you have to use these crates to escape the room. Not that there's anything really trying to kill you in this room, but it's the way you gotta have to escape here. I was actually planning on implementing a switch puzzle in this room, but at the time being I thought that would take too long, and I think I'm kind of glad I didn't implement that in this, because otherwise it would add probably another 30 seconds or so onto the level, so probably a good reason to take that out. See if he can get out of the room here. I think he's got it, folks. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, yeah, he's up there. Alright, now that he's got all 3 keys, he can go to the mysterious object over here. See what it does. Ah, it's a hidden platform. So it's going to take him to a secret room of the compound. Got a invisible collision mesh there, so the player can't fall off there. And now we have a room that pretty much combines everything that the player has been exposed to in this level in particular. Lasers, lava pits, and the little bridge objects there. So pretty much a good combination of testing the player's what the player has learned here. Now I will have to adjust this room because from what I found out, it's actually possible to jump over the pits and avoid the bridges completely, so I'll have to fix that. But anyway, after you get through that room, you just simply push the sphere onto the pressure plate, and it opens the door, and you're home free. But yeah, so that was my level. Hopefully I can tinker with it a bit to improve it, but otherwise, not too bad of a start. But anyway, thanks for looking at my part of the level.
Hello, this is Stephen Hammond, and this is my level here, the library. So the first thing we have to do is pick up 2 objects to open the door. First is a cathode, which you'll find in this wrecked car here, and the anode, which you will find here. Those create a sort of primitive battery that is used to open the front door to the library. And pressing E will open it like so. Now that we're inside the library, we have to find a way onto the main floor. Our goal is to gather 7 books for the Bastion and 3 rare books. So here's the first book. That's my new asset there. I found some nice skinned and textured books from the asset store. Now the player collects this fuse here from this room to take to this room here and use on this fuse box on the circuit breaker to get the power running again. Pick up that scrap material that's under the table. And now head through this door now that it's open. And we see this little wall here is fake. Knock that down and pick up that ID card there, which we'll use on the door in the next room. Over here, pick up the book, turn the corner, and there's some scrap material under this table here. You can just crouch under and grab. Alright. Now we open the door, and we're finally in the main stacks of the library. The idea here is to find a way into the basement while collecting the books. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 standard books right there. So that makes 6 total that we've recovered so far. Now the basement door is over here. You can see that it is password protected. References a specific book called Rules of Play and a page number. So in order to find that book, we naturally go to this card catalog. And that gives us the location, which is on this back wall over here. And there it is. Voila. Now that book is actually damaged, and we can't get the passphrase from it as is, so we need to go to this little restoration room here. Crouch under the collapsed bookshelves. Run to the back of the room to collect these tools. And those tools allow the password to be read. And the player can head back over to the basement door. Now the book and the restoration tools can be collected in any order, and the door will give you an appropriate message for either one. But anyway, now it's open, and we find our way into the basement where we have to avoid these lasers. So there's 1 jumped. There's 2. We crouch under the 3rd here, and up and over the 4th, and under the last one. Brilliant. Now, the primary way that I intended people to get through this area is by using this box and moving it to the far left side of this sort of fallen beam here. I have been some difficulty moving it. It's just not wanting to cooperate. I may end up increasing the mass on this particular object to sort of slow its movement a little bit and make it a little less erratic for the beta. There we are. So it's up against that, and we can go and jump right on over the top and crouch under this low wall here and hop over this. We are in the storage room. You can see there are a few pieces of scrap that we can collect here. 1. And there's 2 and 3 right here and there. And the player comes around here, notices this fake wall that they can just sort of push themselves around. And to move this plank that is over the electrified water here. Oop, up and over. And one more time, there's more electrified water here. And now we find ourselves in the rare book room. We collect the last of the 7 books there. Then we press E to open the case and collect our 3 rare books. And then the goal now is to get right back on out. I seem to have hit my electrified water there. It seems like it clips through just a little bit in that area, so that's something I'm going to be fixing for beta. So let's try it again. Head back over the plank. And this is the trickier jump, which I believe, yep, I missed him. So we try it again. Don't end up losing too much time on it. Luckily. Up and over. And you can do it, buddy. There we go. And here is our exit to the area. And that will do it. Back up on level ground, through the canyon, and on to the next area. Thank you very much. Bye.
Here we're entering my level, Nemesis Research Labs, by Dylan Archambault. As you can see, it starts by jumping over a little hill, meant to be debris from buildings around it. It starts off with an easy pickup, and a bit of debris that I didn't texture yet. The player has to jump over some fences, move some crates. There's another little pickup hidden over to the side. Once inside, the player has a pickup on the ground floor that they can get, and then the all-important Mage Fist. The most important object in my level. Using it, it lets them break objects that have the red outline. Moving on, objects that are important and need to just be slid out of the wall have a yellow particle effect on them. Now jumping on them for some reason is a bit of a pain, and I'm not sure why that is. I've yet to be able to fix that issue entirely. Once past the little wall jump, the player finds himself on the second floor of the lobby. From there, I have another little pickup, and the player can easily walk across the bridge that they had just created by destroying the pillars down below. Once across the bridge, they fall down a hole that leads them to the storage area of my level, where the player needs to use crates in a creative manner to make a bridge across a chemical fire. I have put a checkpoint before and after it. I plan to up the tick damage so that way a player can't just jump across as such, but in the meanwhile it still needs to be done like that. The red item that was just gotten are power cells, which are an important item and needed to progress further throughout my level. Again, yellow particles indicate that an object needs to be slid out. Once passed, the player has to press E to use the elevator. It's a bit finicky, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think I still have to edit the collision of the elevator. Once up the elevator, the player finds himself in the offices. Once past the offices, they're inside the lab. From there are a few pickups that I've scattered and hidden. And apparently a very broken texture. Once done in the lab, the player drops down a hole, which I will be putting a event in the next build. Once they're down in the hole, the player has to move the crates in order to make a platform across. Or to make continuous platforms across, I should say. The crates only move in specific directions. It seems the train didn't load properly in this area. I know due to issues with perp force that the scripting for the terminal up on the ledge also didn't work properly. It keeps breaking every time it is uploaded or retrieved from the depot. It's happened to several objects throughout my level. Once up on the ledge, you are supposed to use the terminal which should open the vault door, but it looks as though the script is broken yet again. Once through, there's a bunch of collectibles. The rare tech that was the objective of going through the Nemesis labs. And that is the end of my level.
Okay, and here we're coming up on my level. My name is Jennifer Miller, also known as Zenon. There are a few extraneous structures around here from a third part of my level that we omitted. This is a control panel so the player can enter the level. This box is the first use of the graphnel here, and after we bypass it, there are a few more instances inside that I'll highlight as we run by, though you probably won't see them in this video because of timeliness. After the player moves this metallic sheet, they can move it over here across this pool, or you could jump over the table. And there are a few collectibles here that we've chosen to bypass for the sake of timeliness as well. And the only thing that collectibles will do for the player in this level is complete an objective to collect all 7 files. And right here is a sliding block puzzle in which the blocks can be rearranged on the first and the second floor in different configurations. The first floor they can be rearranged to reveal a staircase, and from the second floor they can be rearranged to reveal part of the inside second story, which is right here, a slight jump puzzle, and on the other side off to the right is a hidden area that will have more collectibles in it. And over here is a second area. Now this is a liar's puzzle, and the player goes up and talks to each one of these carousel horses, and they will give the player hints on how to progress. The horse that we just used the graphnel on is supposed to be a green horse, and it is the horse that it is the solution. It's supposed to be able to move out of the way, and the player should be able to walk through that archway, though I've made the mistake of accidentally fusing the horse to the archway it's in, so we're going to have to go around this way, which works. It gets us to the same place that we needed to go anyhow. Now, this is a platforming puzzle that I've been told is a bit difficult, and you go over here. You do get stuck here. We're going to fix this, and the extra structures you see around here are part of a third part of this area that was cut currently due to time constraints and we had a problem with the terrain. We are going to fix this in beta, but other than that, that's the end of the level, and we will have more progress in beta for this one.
My name is Kevin Henley. Alright, this is my area. This is my asset, the wall, has texture on it. You start by jumping over the car, and there's a collectible down there. And you come over and the door will open. It'll close behind you as soon as you walk through, and that's where you can find this rock that you'll pick up. And the object of that is to break the window. And you're trying to get to that switch. And the lock fell behind. Unfortunately, though, the block will not break the window. It's only the rocks. Blocks are also very heavy. Use God mode to get through this since the rock fell on the other side. You can pick it up with the grab-null. It's a little tricky sometimes. But basically you'll hit the button from behind like that, it'll open the door. And then as soon as you walk through, it'll close that door again. Alright, pick up the glasses here. That will tell you how many collectibles are in each room. And you want to move these boxes out of the way so that you can get to that password back there. Sometimes the boxes like to be a little bit difficult to move. Do have to move that box underneath as well to be able to get to that password. Wanted to really make sure that the player had to work for it to get to the password so that going to the next room wasn't too simple. Once you move that box, it's easy to get behind there, grab that password. Then you'll walk over to that computer, press E, that'll give you the coin. Be careful not to pick up the box with the grapnel. You just go and grab that coin. Move that box out of the way first. And that chair loves to stay attached to that coin. Grab that coin, take it over to this box. You can drop it off in that box. And that will open the trap door, dropping the rock down. You can grab that rock and break open the window over there next to the door. Sometimes that rock likes to be a little bit too heavy. Rocks are pretty heavy in this area though, so they don't always like to stay in a grab mode. And you just use God mode in this instant though to get through those doors. Drop down into here. And you can't access that button once you get through. Pick up that collectible right there. And you got coin right there. Just gotta go drop that off in the box. Careful not to touch that fire though. Alright, drop that in there, but this time you need one more coin. So now you gotta find where that other coin is. These are collectibles. There's a hidden button in this room that will open it up so you can get to the collectible. Coin is hiding somewhere. We'll use God to get through this part real quick too. Bring us through to the garden area. So this time you have to have 3 coins in the box. Sometimes I like to be a little bit difficult. Go. Get it just right. It's a good technique to crouch while you do that. That way you can see as much as possible. The other coin is hiding underneath that tree right there. Don't want to run too fast with it, otherwise it'll fly out of the grab wall. Take it, put it in the box, and that'll give you the rock. And you can smash open this window as well. Gotta get those bottom panes though. Now once you got that, hit E to open the door. And this is electric water that you want to watch out for. You can move these blocks around, otherwise it'll electrocute you. If you run quick enough, you can make it through there without getting too badly injured. Then you can come over here and break open this window, get to the switch. sometimes those switches can be a little bit frustrating. Should be able to get to the switch from there, and that'll open the door to the last room. And moving this table is a big key because it hides a lot of stuff over there. You can use God mode to get through this part, and that'll take you into the last area where you can choose to open all these doors back up. And I'll actually close the first one since it was already open. This button will open up this door. Then allow you to walk through here, and you can go through the first area if you want, or the lab area. And you can come back through here and get all the collectibles that you missed the first time around. And that tree may be blocking something. And you can't get over those beams either, which would be nice. But here you can walk through this back door that's hiding behind that tree. Got some more collectibles back. If the player needs further narration, they can walk back through there. In God mode to get back out of the building. That'll take you back to the beginning of the level. Or you could use the very back door and that will take you to the end.